What's going on, everybody? Katie here, and welcome back to the 18th official episode of the King Darius Experience. This one is going to be something that everybody wants, and some people know how to do, some people don't, some people partially know how to do it, but most people want more of this thing, and that is trust and respect for your brand, right? We all have this idea in our head that we have enough influence and authority, trust, respect, and prestige around our brand that when we speak something into existence, being content, solutions, etc., that we have enough earned trust and respect with our audiences that they are drawn into those moments, whether it's a free moment, it's a paid moment, it's an engagement moment, whatever that process or that moment is. Most of us want to arrive at that point, right? Arrive at that level of influence and authority and respect and prestige in our industries, our sectors, and in and around the things that we want to create. But one of the things that you have to do is you have to go through the earning process yourself, right? So a lot of times, I make the analogy very similar to sports, right? It's one thing to know how to have a winning play or even win a game or win a few games. It's another thing to know how to win a season. And then it's an even entirely different thing to learn how to win a championship or even make it to the playoffs so you have a chance to win a championship. So when you think about your content in both long and short form and everything in between, you have to consider your content almost as like a competition with yourself, with the only objective not to be to win, but to go deeper, right? And to have consistency in your ability to draw what you need to out of your customers after you've provided, value. So one of the things that you do in order to do this is the process of using short form content to earn the honor, the respect, the prestige, the trust on your longer form content. There's very few people that are just going to hear about your music the first time and listen to all your stuff all the way through. There's very few people who will hear that you have a podcast and listen to the entire episode from start to finish and leave you a dope review. There's very few people who are going to first hear about you and immediately buy or download something from you or immediately trust you. So your at-bats, every single play matters. Can you take it from a different angle? Can you take it from a different perspective? Can you shove deeper attention on the longer form piece of content by taking the short form content and positioning it completely different than potentially even the original topic that you were talking about or providing value through, right? So there's endless ability to reposition and repurpose content so you can earn the trust and respect you need on your longer form or more meaningful pieces of content that will drive the results that you actually need. So your job is to continually set up those layers to where your shorter form at bats, boom, base hit, boom, base hit, boom, base hit. And those people are going to your deeper pieces of content because once you have that depth of attention to where people understand, respect, and trust your longer form pieces of content, audio, visual, textual, then you're in a completely different place with your business. So this also poses the idea that your return on investment needs to be a lot larger than just money, right? Everybody needs money to pay for something, to pay for their freedom, to pay for their bills, to pay for their employees, to pay for things that they need to do their job even better, more efficient, or make higher quality content or higher quality products, or, source things. Like, we all need money to do things. That's a universal truth. But that is not the derivative of our marketing strategy, nor is it the only thing that we can get in return when we're investing our time, money, and resources. Money is just one of those things, right? So some of the things that we need to start looking for opportunities for every single day, because a lot of times we will negate these things because they don't have a short-term win, most of them, and they're more of a longer-term, longevity, sustaining type of thing. These are a couple of those things that you need to be looking for. Research, right? Development, customer insights and data, product positioning, pain points, opportunities, creative business ideas, networking opportunities. You need customer insights and true empathy and in and around their pain points and opportunities, right? You need to be mining for these things at all costs, at all times of the day, because this is giving you further intelligence, further sophistication for your marketing, right? So it was really cool because even earlier today, I was having a conversation with a potential client, now a client, and it was so funny because the language that she was putting behind her pain points and opportunities that she saw with her business, I was like, man, I need to use that language in how I'm presenting one of the solutions that I have that ended up being something that was a perfect fit for her. And then I started thinking, man, if I start thinking about the persona of everybody else who could potentially use this service, man, they this is what they're dealing with too. So I completely made an immediate shift, and it saved me months, if not years, of research and development, of product refinement, of repositioning, of all of that stuff, because I took time to listen to where my customers were at today, right? So if you look at any of the greatest leaders in the world that we look at after in regards to moving anything forward, or that we look at as in a respect of like honor and prestige, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Martin Luther, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Like if you look at any of these people, their big breaks, if you want to call it that, because nothing is a big break. Nobody just becomes successful overnight, but their big breaks came through their understanding of the lowest common denominator, which is the end user, the person that they're trying to reach and have some type of influence or, foot in the door into their lives, right? So they spent time with those people, spent time understanding their behavior, their state of mind, their perspectives, the things that they were dealing with, how they were actually spending their time, money, and resources in and around things, the things that they care about, the things they want to see done, right? In industries, on the earth, what have you. Like the greatest leaders in the world know that the only answers that you need to move something forward are found at the lowest level, the lowest common denominator, the least of us, right? Because that's who you're ultimately trying to serve as you grow in revenue, as you grow in people, as you grow in brand recognition, as you grow in trust. So you never can lose that ability to sharpen your axe by spending time with the lowest common denominator and mining information, research, development, and intelligence from that layer. So that way you can put it back into your products, put it back into your content, because then all of a sudden your brand voice becomes so accurate, right? It becomes so precise around the things that people are actually thinking about, even if they're not saying it out of their mouths, and people begin to look at your brand like, man, these guys, this person, this girl, this dude, this entrepreneur, this business owner, this influencer, this content creator really gets it. They truly get what I'm like, without having to say it, they really get where I'm coming from. Man, I really trust this brand because clearly they've done their job in regards to their research and development and that sort of thing. These are things that people subconsciously and consciously think, but it always shows through their behavior. We gravitate towards comfort. So if you hear somebody speaking your language, if you hear people talking about the things you're truly dealing with, the pain points, the opportunities, all that kind of stuff, you're naturally, subconsciously and consciously going to trust that person, trust that thing, trust that idea, trust that piece of content, right? Because it's relatable, it's touchable, it's tangible, and that makes it easier to trust, and that disarms you as a consumer or a buyer, which makes it easier for you to buy into whatever the thing is that's being presented before you. So make sure you're looking for things beyond money for return on your investment, because if it was as easy as money, we would have literal machines running every business because it's all just equations. But when you throw humans in the mix, which every business has to do, then it becomes a lot less of an equation and more of a rhythm, right? You have to follow the rhythm and the behavior of what they usually deem as the market, but of human behavior, of human psychology, right? And you have to match your marketing efforts, your communication efforts with all of that stuff, which brings me to my last point, no pun intended. There are no arrival points. You either care or you don't. You either do it or you don't. You're either going to put time into evangelizing and narrating and pushing forth content and going deeper and creating your funnels and doing one-on-one connection, so that way you have the intelligence to make your product sharper, your services sharper, or you're not going to do it. It's literally binary. It's zeros and ones. It's one or the other. It's black and white, right? It's opposites. It's the equal and opposite. You have to make the decision now. If it's not part of your behavior today, what makes you think that a certain level of money, a certain level of authority, a certain level of influence, a certain level of experience is going to unlock a deep care for the people you're trying to serve? So it's literally your job to make the decision in the beginning, in the early infancy stages of what you're trying to, even people who already have things established. Like I've literally seen dudes and women who have, 10, 15, $20 million plus infrastructures, organizations, or they're a decision maker in those places, and they still haven't figured these things out. So you can see it on their face, you can see it through their behavior, that there's a lack of satisfaction through what they're doing, because we truly desire to be with people and be helpful to people and grow and affect and impact people in a very positive way, whether we, again, consciously or subconsciously know that. So your decisions today your behavior today dictates your reality tomorrow, right? So make sure you're ensuring the derivative of those things is coming from the right places. So hopefully this helps you understand that if you want to earn trust and respect for your brand, some of these things are non-negotiable. There's things in marketing and sales that can be negotiable. Oh, you can pull that out of your pocket when you need that, when you need to do that flash sale, that campaign, that advertising, that piece of content, that idea that you had, the connection you wanted to make, right? Those are all negotiable. I'll pull them out when I want to. But then there's non-negotiable things that if you want what you say you want out of your mouth in regards to growth for your brand and your creations, then there's non-negotiable things you have to do in order to get the sophistication and intelligence to accomplish those things. So that's my encouragement, that's my awakening, that's my empowerment for you for today. Let me know what you're working on, let me know what you're creating. It's at Hell King Darius on all platforms: TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I answer everybody as fast and as quickly and thorough and with as much context as possible because I love connecting with you guys and hearing about what you're doing. Other than that, we will see you in episode 19 of the King Darius Experience. Peace. I'm making the list, I'm checking it once. I'm making the shift, I'm stacking the funds. You watching your back, you putting no fronts. I don't need a plaque to tell me I won. I know that I won. Niggas ain't got like this. Y'all still dealing with the king. Y'all ain't ready for the prince. Niggas ain't got like this. Just hop